breaking news. How Kjersti Flaa kickstarted Blake Lively's smear campaign, one way or another. These days, Kjersti Flaa spearheads the shaming of Blake Lively, Doxes Private Citizens, who support Blake, and Endangers Blake and her supporters by encouraging her YouTube followers to hound them, setting the record straight. Welcome back. Today, we untangle some pretty wild claims made by YouTube personality Kjersti Flaa in her recent video about Wikipedia edits, Blake Lively, and what she calls a smear campaign, while she doxes innocent private citizens. John Doe. Buckle up, folks, this one's a doozy. You can find me on the only corner of the internet I know where I get to freely support Blake Lively without getting submerged by Melissa Nathan and Jade Wallace online trolls on the subreddit Baldoni Files or the subreddit Depth Delusion. Segment 1, the suspicious timeline. Before we dive into Flaa's claims about Wikipedia edits, let's talk about a timeline shared by private citizen John Doe that shows a convenient sequence of events set to launch Kjersti Flaa into an unexpected lifestyle of a popular, yet nasty YouTuber who thrives on smearing Blake Lively, woman-shaming, and putting women in their place in a traditionally patriarchal setup. Here's John Doe's timeline. August 2nd, 2024. Justin Baldoni begins communicating with a crisis PR team, according to text messages that emerged later. August 9th, 2024. It Ends With Us premieres in theaters. August 10th, 2024. Just one day after the premiere, Kjersti Flaa suddenly posts her 2016 video to YouTube with the dramatic title, "The Blake Lively Interview That Made Me Want to Quit My Job," a video she sat on for 8 years. August 13th, 2024. The Hollywood Reporter reports that Justin Baldoni has hired a crisis PR team. August 16th, 2024. Flaa does an exclusive interview with the Daily Mail about her experience. Interestingly, Daily Mail is where Baldoni's crisis PR Melissa Nathan's sister, Sarah Nathan, has been reporting stories as far back as 2010. August 18th, 2024. A user named Paul Patchett creates a draft of a Wikipedia article about Kjersti Flaa. August 20th, 2024. Paul Patchett publishes the draft as a live article. December 21st, 2024. The New York Times publishes their article about the alleged smear campaign. Now, Flaa claims posting her video was pure coincidence. "I didn't like the movie. I had a bad experience with Blake Lively, and at that time, I had kind of had enough of Hollywood, so I wasn't afraid of being canceled anymore. So I decided to post the video." Really? You weren't aware of the biggest Hollywood drama of the year surrounding the exact people you're suddenly posting about, and your video just happened to align perfectly with Baldoni's PR campaign timeline. That's quite the coincidence. Oh, and did I mention that Flaa has now pivoted her entire YouTube channel to focus on the Lively-Baldoni conflict and is currently selling pro-Baldoni merchandise. Just another coincidence, I'm sure. Segment 2, the Wikipedia saga. So Kjersti Flaa recently posted a video claiming her Wikipedia page has been dramatically altered as part of some elaborate plot orchestrated by Blake Lively's team. 50 edits in 2 months. Sounds serious, right? Except that's actually pretty normal for Wikipedia. Wikipedia pages get edited constantly. That's literally how the platform works. Public figures' pages often see dozens or hundreds of edits. As information is updated, sources are added, and facts are checked. It's not a conspiracy. It's just Wikipedia doing Wikipedia things. And let's talk about the creation of her Wikipedia page in the first place. She's shocked that someone created a Wikipedia page about her in August 2024. But considering she had just inserted herself into one of the biggest Hollywood controversies of the year, is it really surprising that someone would return the kind PR favor in the form of a Wikipedia entry. The timing makes perfect sense. She suddenly became relevant to a major entertainment story. And here's where it gets interesting. Flaa claims that all the positive achievements were removed from her page, leaving only controversies. But I just checked her actual Wikipedia page, and guess what? It still lists all 3 of her journalism awards: her 2020 SoCal Journalism Award for her Diane Keaton interview, her 2019 second place award for her Jane Fonda profile, and her 2019 National Arts and Entertainment Journalism Award for her Henry Winkler interview. The page even includes a judge's comment praising her endearing chemistry with Keaton. So much for that they erased all my achievements narrative, huh? Segment 3, the CIA connection. Now, for my favorite part. Flaa dramatically reveals that Blake Lively hired Nick Shapiro, whom she describes as former CIA Deputy Chief of Staff. Cue the dramatic music. She then jumps to the conclusion that this must mean Lively is planting negative information about her. First, hiring crisis PR is standard practice in Hollywood. Second, making the leap from hired PR professional to engaged in Wikipedia sabotage against a YouTube journalist is quite the Olympic-level jump in logic. Let's also note that when Justin Baldoni hired crisis PR, we didn't hear a peep from Flaa. In fact, she told The Hollywood Reporter in a story published January 3rd, 2025, adding she was very sure Baldoni's team were happy about that. But when Blake does the same thing, it's suddenly evidence of a nefarious plot. Interesting double standard there, isn't it? Segment 4, the Weinstein connection. Here's where our story takes a truly fascinating turn. While Flaa portrays herself as a brave truth-teller, standing up against powerful figures, her relationship with another powerful Hollywood figure tells a, let's say, inconsistent story. Let's talk about Harvey Weinstein, shall we? In an American interview with Fandom Wire, Flaa painted herself as someone who bravely avoided Weinstein at parties, saying, "He was there with Nicole Kidman. I remember he was walking around with her on his arm at this party, and people came up and took pictures with him. I just felt like he had this awful energy about him." She claimed she refused photos with Weinstein because she did not feel comfortable enough with him. But isn't it interesting how stories change depending on who's listening? In a Swedish interview with Aftonbladet, Flaa and her partner Magnus Sundholm had quite a different take, actually discussing partying with Weinstein and even joking about getting calls from him. Even more revealing. While Flaa tells American audiences she refused photos with Weinstein due to his awful energy, her boyfriend apparently didn't share those concerns. There are photos of him with Weinstein. In the Swedish interview, Flaa admits, "It was no secret in the industry how he behaved. Everyone knows how everyone is, but you pretend you don't see anything as long as you make a lot of money." That's quite the admission, and quite different from her American media persona, isn't it? Oh, and while she was sharing her discomfort about Weinstein and Nicole Kidman, she also took the opportunity to trash both Kidman and Sandra Bullock in the Swedish press. It seems her issues with powerful women in Hollywood didn't start with Blake Lively. Segment 5, the HFPA lawsuit reality check. Flaa mentions in her video that her Wikipedia page once portrayed her HFPA lawsuit as triumphant, but now simply states it was dismissed for lack of evidence. Let's fact check that, shall we? According to her actual Wikipedia page, the one she claims has been manipulated to make her look bad, it states that in December 2022, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals upheld a federal district court's decision to dismiss Flaa's case, finding no evidence to support her claims of antitrust violations. But it doesn't stop there. The page also acknowledges that despite the legal outcome, Flaa's lawsuit had a lasting impact on the HFPA, prompting changes in its membership practices and increasing pressure for greater transparency, inclusivity within the organization. That sounds like a pretty balanced account to me, acknowledging both that she lost the case and that her actions had positive industry impacts. Not exactly the hatchet job she's describing, is it? Segment 6. The art of selective editing. If there's one thing that truly reveals Flaa's agenda, it's her approach to editing. Remember how she claimed her Wikipedia was unfairly edited? Well, let's talk about her own editing practices. In February 2025, Flaa posted a video that supposedly exposed Blake Lively as difficult to work with. The video featured clips from Lively's appearance at Forbes Power Women's Summit in 2022. But here's where it gets interesting. Flaa's edits completely misrepresented what Lively actually said. In Flaa's version, she arranged clips to make it appear as though Lively was admitting to being controlling and difficult on set. But when you watch the unedited Forbes video, which is publicly available on Facebook, you get a completely different story. What Lively actually discussed was the importance of being authentic from the beginning of a working relationship, stating, "Knowing what I want and what I need and representing that from the outset. And if people are into that and want to collaborate." She was talking about being upfront about expectations, not hiding her intentions until after being hired. Lively also said, "It's about being upfront about knowing what you actually need versus just trying to get the job. And then once you're in it, sort of revealing the scope of your needs." That's literally the opposite of what Flaa's edited clips suggested. TMZ on February 11th, 2025. Then picked up Flaa's misleading framing from February 10th, 2025, and ran with it, claiming Blake was at Forbes Power Women's Summit in 2022 when she copped to rug-pulling directors, writers, and producers. They even wrote that. Blake says she always presents herself as a happy-go-lucky actress, excited to just get a gig. And then the control freak in her comes out when production gets underway. That's not what Lively said at all. In fact, she specifically warned against doing exactly that. But thanks to Kjersti Flaa's non-stop framing of Blake Lively, all Pro Baldoni content creators began repeating the same rhetoric as Kjersti and TMZ starting February 12th, 2025. Flaa strategically placed clips out of order, removing crucial context and creating a narrative that was fundamentally dishonest. This isn't journalism, it's manipulation. Segment 7. Reaction to Kjersti Flaa's second video. Now let's dive into Kjersti Flaa's latest video, where she continues this chaotic saga surrounding her Wikipedia page. A real masterclass in chaos, if you will. She opens by thanking subscribers for their support after posting an earlier video claiming someone was trying to manipulate information on her Wikipedia page. Oh, how sweet, except this support translates into mobilizing an online mob against Kjersti Flaa's online doxing victim John Doe, the person who dared edit said page. Flaa acts like she's leading some noble crusade against injustice, when really she's just playing mean girl on social media. She talks about how together we can tell these people off. What's next? A pep rally. Segment 8. Doxing Kjersti Flaa's online doxing victim John Doe. Unethical behavior exposed. And here's where things take an even darker turn. Flaa names Kjersti Flaa's online doxing victim John Doe directly in this video, accusing him of being part of some grand conspiracy orchestrated by Blake Lively's team. She dives into his professional background, calling him an unsuccessful author. Wow, there's nothing like doxing someone while playing victim yourself. This isn't journalism. This is harassment dressed up as righteous indignation. Segment 9. Absurd conspiracy theories. Then she goes full conspiracy theorist claiming Kjersti Flaa's online doxing victim John Doe has connections to Ryan Reynolds because he once worked on marketing for Deadpool candy. Yes, folks, gummy bears are now evidence of collusion. She even suggests he's manipulating Google search results because clearly every negative article must be part of some sinister plot against poor Kjersti. Segment 10. Revisiting Claudia Kim, a recycled grievance. Moving on. She revisits past controversies surrounding Claudia Kim, where she asked if Kim read Harry Potter in English, a question deemed racially insensitive by some, instead of taking responsibility or acknowledging why it might have been problematic. She blames Korean trolls who dared criticize her. Classic deflection. Segment 11. Mobilizing an online mob. One particularly troubling aspect is how she actively encourages fans to dig up dirt on Kjersti Flaa's online doxing victim John Doe, while framing herself as some kind of hero fighting back against oppression. This isn't journalism. This is inciting harassment. She's painting targets on people's backs, while crying foul over perceived injustices against herself. Segment 12. Gossip Girl anecdote, more unverifiable claims. And let's not forget how she ends this circus act by sharing an unverified story from an Oscars viewing party where someone claimed Blake Lively made them cry during filming Gossip Girl. We're supposed to take hearsay from random partygoers as gospel truth now. This isn't investigative reporting. It's gossip dressed up as journalism. At this point, it's clear Kjersti Flaa's actions aren't just unethical, they're downright dangerous. By doxing Kjersti Flaa's online doxing victim John Doe, while encouraging harassment under false pretenses, she's crossed every line imaginable. So remember, folks, in an age where influencers wield power over narratives, it's crucial we hold them accountable for their actions. I'm your host, and this has been an honor being able to bring the truth to you.